trauma. What exactly is trauma? Trauma is the lasting emotional, psychological, or physical response to an event or series of events that are emotionally disturbing or life-threatening, such as abuse, violence, natural disasters, or the unexpected loss of a loved one. It overwhelms a person's capacity to cope, leading to feelings of fear, helplessness, and a disrupted sense of safety. While everyone experiences events differently, trauma can result in significant long-term effects on a person's physical, mental, and social well-being. The kind that stains your very soul. The kind that comes in the form of a pink cow with a terrifying blank stare. We are talking about Whitney, the normal-type gym leader, and the absolute behemoth beast Miltank, which she unleashes on unsuspecting children. I swear to God, every single one of us, every single one has a shared this goddamn core memory of this specific moment of pure failure against this filthy Miltank. This isn't a battle, man. This is a rite of passage, a final exam that came way too early in the semester, and I mean that. Whitney's Miltank is not just a hard boss, it's a meticulously designed difficulty spike, a masterclass in psychological warfare which still plagues many of us, created to break a generation of players who had become complacent and cocky. She was the one who made us cry and throw our DS across the room. She was the one who taught us fear. And today, we're going to break down every single reason. To understand the full scope of this collective trauma, you have to remember where you were. You were on a high road. You had just walked through the gates of Goldenrod City, feeling like a damn hero. You had just put Faulkner and Bugsy in their place and breezed through their gym, because to be real with you, they were jokes, absolute jokes. Faulkner had a Pidgeotto, a bird you probably had on your own team, and Bugsy, the bug-type gym leader, he was the literal definition of a pushover. His ace was a Scyther. It was only level 16, and its strongest move was U-turn, which is a good move, but it wasn't a killer. And get this, a lot of players probably hadn't even leveled up that much between Bugsy's gym and Whitney's, because the path to Goldenrod City didn't have a lot of high-level trainers to fight. You were feeling good. You were feeling invincible. Your level 20 starter was going to one-shot anything that came in your way. You were using physical attacks and one-shotting everything you saw. And Whitney, she was a normal-type gym leader. Normal type, what's the worst she could do, right? You were walking into that gym with the confidence of the future champion, completely oblivious to the biblical storm that was about to hit you. The psychological warfare starts immediately. She doesn't just throw Miltank at you. She starts with a Clefairy, and this isn't a boss Pokemon, it's a troll. A warm-up act that's designed to lull you into a false sense of security. Clefairy's not strong, but it's annoying. It has Cute Charm, which can inflict infatuation on your male Pokemon before Miltank even comes out. And it has Metronome, which is the ultimate gamble. A move that can pull literally any other move in the game. You're sitting there laughing like, oh, this is cute, while her Clefairy is setting the stage for the absolute hell that is her main Pokemon. It's an appetizer of frustration, and you take the bait, you feel like you've got it in the bag. You think to yourself, this is a cakewalk. And that's when she brings out the Miltank. I want you to really think about this for a second. The Goldenrod City gym leader is the third gym leader in the game. The trainers leading up to this point have Pokemon with stats averaging around 20 or 30, so you're used to throwing a punch, a physical attack, and just watching the opponent's health bar disappear. You're on cruise control, man. Then Miltank rolls out and you hit it with your best shot, and the health bar barely, and I mean barely, moves. You just experienced a complete paradigm shift, a total change in the rules of the game that you were not prepared for. Why? Because Miltank, at level 19, has a defense stat of 105 and a speed stat of 100. 105. Do you understand what a monumental jump that is? That's on a completely different scale. It's a literal physical wall. It's faster than most of your team, and it's completely stonewalls your primary strategy of just using a single over-leveled physical attacker. Your starter, which has been your ace this entire time, suddenly hits for pathetic damage. Your usual brute force method of just spamming attacks is useless, and that feeling of helplessness is the core of the trauma. The Miltank fight forces you to think strategically for the first time, and it's a lesson learned through brutal repeated failure. And the moveset. Oh god, the moveset. It's not just the stats, it's the combination of moves that makes it a literal nightmare. It's a perfectly curated moveset of pure hell. First you got Attract. This is the move that separates this fight from every other difficult gym leader in the series. You just brought out your starter, probably your Quilava, or a big, strong male Pokemon. And what does Miltank do?
My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, and they're like, it's better than yours, damn right, it's better than yours.
And then you get the message that has haunted a generation of players for decades. Your Pokemon is immobilized by love. Miltank was using Freak no Jutsu on your Pokemon. It's Freak Whitney and her Miltank are motherfuckers. And you just stand there in a moment of pure disbelief as your Pokemon just stares lovingly at this pink cow. You know what the chance of your starter being male is? A staggering 87.5% chance. Yes, even for Chikorita, this is a near guaranteed disaster for most players. It's a 50% chance to do nothing on your turn, a coin flip of pain, a pure luck issue. It's infuriating. It's not a skill issue, it's a luck issue, and it feels like the game is mocking you. Then you have Stomp. It's bad enough that Miltank is faster and moves first due to its 100 speed stat, but its main physical attack, Stomp, has a 30% chance to flinch. So even if your Pokemon isn't immobilized by love, you could still be immobilized by pain. It's just one more layer of bullshit on top of an already ridiculous pile. And then you have the big one. The one move that everyone remembers and that everyone has a story about. I'm talking about Rollout. Rollout is a rock-type attack, which is already a cruel joke against the fire-type starter Cyndaquil. But the real kicker is how it works. On the first hit, it has a pathetic 30 base power. You laugh at it, you think it's a joke, but then it hits a second time for 60. The third hit, 120 base power. And if she gets to the fourth hit, it's a ridiculous 240 base power. This isn't just an attack, it's an ever-growing avalanche of pain, an unstoppable truck barreling down on you one hit at a time. It will one hit knock out your Pokemon, or it will one-shot your dreams. This is the move that literally crushed a generation. And just when you think you got her on the ropes, you finally manage to whittle down that monstrous health bar. She hits you with the most soul-crushing move of all, Milk Drink. This freak drinks its own milk to regain health. Now that's some freak shit even Diddy would be like, hey yo, you just spent 10 turns, 10 agonizing turns, chipping away at her health, getting flinched, getting immobilized, and she just uses Milk Drink and heals half of her total HP. The frustration is monumental. It's a f*** you from the game designer, a complete negation of your will to live. It's why you can't just chip away at her. You have to beat her fast and you have to beat her hard. So what makes Whitney different? Why does she stand out so much compared to other notoriously difficult gym leaders like Sabrina or Claire? It's a perfect storm of factors, a unique confluence of circumstances that was specifically designed to hit you where you were most vulnerable. The biggest issue is the lack of tools. At this point in the game offers a severe, and I mean severe, lack of fighting-type Pokemon. Fighting is the only type that's super effective against normal, and without a type advantage, you are stuck trying to brute force your way through that 105 defense stat. Your wild Pokemon are weak and underleveled, and there aren't many places to grind. You're fundamentally unprepared for a battle that requires strategy, not just brute force. Compare this to other hard leaders, Tate and Liza or Fantina and Platinum. Yeah, they're hard, but by the time you get to them, you have access to a much wider variety of Pokemon and moves. You have more tools to solve the problem. You can get a Dark-type Pokemon for Fantina or a Water-type for Tate and Liza, and you have a huge selection to choose from. But Whitney, she's the third gym leader. You're not just underleveled, you're fundamentally unprepared for a battle that requires more than what you've been doing up to this point. She's a major roadblock, a major momentum killer that teaches a tough lesson through brutal, repeated failure. She's the first time the game really makes you feel like an idiot for not planning ahead. But out of this chaos, a few legends were born. A few heroes found a way to fight back. The first, and probably the most common solution, was the Machop trade. The game designers were smart, and they knew this was a hard battle, so they put a counter right in the game itself. On the top floor of the Goldenrod department store, a man offers to trade his Machop for a Drowsy, and this Machop named a Muscle is the ultimate get-out-of-jail-free card. It's a fighting type, so its Karate Chop and Low Kick are super effective against Miltank. It gets an experience boost from being a traded Pokemon, so it levels up faster. And most importantly, it is guaranteed to be female, making it completely immune to attract. This Machop was the ultimate big brain move for a kid who found it or read about it in a Nintendo Power magazine. It was the moment the game says, you don't need to grind, you just need to think. Then you have the desperation strategies, the beautiful, weird, and wonderful solutions born from repeated failure. The first one is the Ghastly Curse. Ghastly, a ghost-type Pokemon, is immune to Miltank's Stomp because it's a physical, normal-type move. The beautiful realization that they could use Curse to put Miltank on a turn-by-turn timer. Example of a player finding a clever workaround to a game's intended difficulty. It's the ultimate outsmarting the game move. And it was so powerful, it even influenced game design. The developers were so aware of this loophole that in the remakes Heart Gold and Soul Silver, Miltank was given the hidden ability Scrappy, which allows her normal type moves like Stomp to hit ghost types. It's a fascinating cat and mouse game that shows Miltank's legacy is so huge, it literally changed the rules of the game. It's no longer just a boss. Another classic was the wall strategy. The game gives you access to Geodude and Onyx, two rock/ground types with incredibly high defense. They are excellent for tanking Rollout, which is a rock type move, and if you were lucky enough to get a female one, it was a bonus against Attract. This was the brute force a different way strategy, where you just outlasted her and slowly chipped away at her health with status effects like poison or paralysis. You could get a Mareep with Thunder Wave or a Chikorita with Stun Spore to inflict paralysis, which not only lowers Miltank's speed, but also gives you a 25% chance to make it unable to move. Or you could get a Pokemon that could poison it, slowly draining that tanky health bar with damage over time. So when it comes down to it, the Miltank battle wasn't just a hard fight, it was a rite of passage. It was the first time many of us truly experienced the harsh reality of the Pokemon world. It taught us about strategy, about grinding, about finding hidden solutions, and about the sheer soul-crushing agony of a 100% accurate rollout. Other difficult gym leaders came after her, but none of them had the same perfect storm of factors as Whitney. Her difficulty is unique, historical, a true legend. She is, without a doubt, the greatest of all time when it comes to gym leader trauma. So, I gotta know, what's your story? Did you cheese her with a female Machop? Did you go full Ghastly with Curse? Or did you just keep throwing your poor Quilava at her until you finally got lucky? Let me know down in the comments below. And while you're at it, please consider subscribing so that we can hit 5,000 subscribers.